Need to drain your above-ground pool? Maybe it's full of nasty, stagnant water, or maybe you need to completely take it down for the season or make emergency repairs. Whatever the reason, doing it the wrong way can damage your pool liner, or worse, the whole thing can collapse. So here's a step-by-step guide on how to drain an above-ground pool the right way using either a garden hose or a sump pump. Let's dive in. Real quick before we continue, if you want more help taking care of your pool, be sure to grab our free pool care cheat sheet at swimuniversity.com/cheat sheet. It's totally free and will help keep your pool clean and clear all season long. First, when should you drain your above ground pool? There are only a few reasons you'll ever need to completely or partially drain your pool water. Number 1, your water chemistry is beyond rebalancing. Even if you're meticulous about your pool maintenance, you can end up with a buildup of total dissolved solids, or TDS. These are byproducts of all the chemicals you use to keep your pool clean that slowly build up over time. When your TDS levels are greater than 2,500 parts per million, or ppm, you'll need to drain and replace some of your pool water with fresh water. Another reason to replace your water? Your cyanuric acid, or CYA levels, are too high. The only way to bring those levels down is by partially draining your pool and replacing it with fresh water. Number 2, you need to make structural repairs. You can handle most pool repairs without draining all the water from your above ground pool. It's even possible to patch and repair a pool liner while it's still underwater. But if you're replacing your pool liner or repairing your pool frame's base, you'll need to empty the pool. Number 3, you need to store your pool for the winter. If you have a smaller above-ground swimming pool and live in a cold climate, you may need to drain and store it during the winter. Not only will this protect your pool from freezing temperatures, but storing your pool in the off-season may be required to preserve your warranty. Now, before you drain your above-ground pool, you'll need to have a few things prepared. 1, have a water disposal plan. Check with your city for rules and regulations about how to dispose of pool water. Most areas won't allow you to empty your pool water into storm drains, so you need to empty it directly into a sanitary sewer line or clean-out port outside your home. Number 2, bring down your pool's chemical levels. Make sure your pool water isn't full of chemicals before you drain it. So stop adding chemicals the days before you drain, and test your pool water before you empty your pool. If you need to speed up the process, consider using a chlorine neutralizer. 3, wait for mild, warm weather. Plan on draining your pool on a clear day that's not too hot. Aim for temperatures at or below 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 29 degrees Celsius to prevent damage to your pool liner. 4, turn off pumps, filters, heaters, and automatic timers. If you have any pool equipment with automatic timers like pumps, then turn them off before you start draining. If the water level falls below the skimmer line and the pump turns on, it can overheat. 5, plan to stay near your pool when it drains. Never leave your pool unattended while it's draining or refilling, especially if you're using equipment like a sump pump. Okay, ready to drain? Here are 3 ways to drain your above ground pool. Number 1, siphoning water with a garden hose. Number 2, using a submersible pump. Or 3, use your pool's drain adapter. If you only need to partially drain your pool because you need to adjust your water chemistry, siphoning the water out with a garden hose is an easy option. However, if you need to completely drain a larger pool, you'll want to use a sump pump to speed up the process. And if you're draining a smaller pool to store it during the winter months in a colder climate, well, you may want to use your pool's built-in drain adapter, if there is one. By the way, do not use your pool pump to drain water from your pool. If your water level dips below your skimmer, your pump will begin to pull in air, and since there's no water flowing through it, it can burn out or become permanently damaged. Let's start with how to drain an above ground pool without a pump, aka the garden hose siphon method. If you're only partially draining your pool, or you don't want to use a pump, you can use a garden hose to siphon out your pool water. First, submerge the entire garden hose underwater in the pool. Hold both ends below the surface until the air bubbles stop. This means the hose is now full of water. Place your hand over one end of the hose. While keeping the end covered, pull that end of the hose out of the water. Place the end you're holding on the ground at a lower level than your pool's water line. When you move your hand away, the water should start siphoning out. The hose on the outside of the pool needs to be lower than the water level in the pool. And make sure the end that's in the water remains under the surface. If your water is too shallow for this method and you're not getting a good siphon, you can speed up that process by attaching your garden hose to your house's spigot. 1. Connect one end of your garden hose to the spigot and place the other end in your pool. 2. Make sure that the end of the garden hose that's in the pool is secured or weighed down so it doesn't pop out. 3. Turn on the water. Water should be running through your hose and filling your pool. 4. Once the hose is completely full of water, unscrew it from the spigot. Place that end of the hose on the ground and then turn off your spigot. This should create a siphon at this point, and water should be draining from your pool out of the hose. Just make sure that this end of the hose is on lower ground. Now keep in mind that your hose siphon will get slower and slower as the water level decreases. If you have a larger above ground pool, it can take several days to drain. It'll also leave an inch or two at the bottom of your pool liner, and any remaining water can be removed by a shop vac. If the hose method is too slow for you, here's how to drain your pool with a sump pump. You'll need a submersible pump, aka a sump pump, and a garden hose. First, attach the garden hose to your sump pump. 2. Locate your house's cleanout port. This is usually in the ground in your front yard near a water spigot. Open the cleanout port by unscrewing the cap. Unravel your garden hose and place it inside the port. Now just keep in mind that your hose won't be sanitary afterwards. 3. Place the sump pump underwater in the middle of your pool floor. Turn on the pump by plugging it in, and remember, try not to use an extension cord. At this point, the water should be flowing through the hose. 4. Monitor your water flow. Carefully watch the pump, hose, and power cords to make sure everything is running smoothly and that the water is properly draining into the clean out port. Remember, never leave a sump pump running unmonitored. 5. Turn off the pump once the water level is too low. Once the water level is low enough that the pump isn't pushing out water, turn it off and take it out of the pool. It's okay if you still have a few inches of water at the bottom. Any remaining water can be removed by a shop vac. Finally, here's how to drain your pool with a drain adapter. If you have an Intex, Coleman, or other temporary above ground pool, your pool may have a drain adapter. Simply connect the drain plug to a garden hose before opening the valve. If you've just opened the valve without a hose, the water will drain around and underneath the pool, softening the ground your pool sits on. And remember, your water shouldn't be flowing into a storm drain. And that's it. If you need more help with pool maintenance, grab our free pool care cheat sheet at swimuniversity.com/cheat sheet. And if you found this video helpful, leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more pool maintenance tutorials throughout the season. That's it. Thanks again, and happy swimming.